Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A man has died after fire ripped through a garage in Swansea late yesterday. Investigators are still unsure what sparked the blaze after spending the day searching through the ashes.
Investigators comb through the grim aftermath of a garage fire. Twisted steel and ash is all that remains after a blaze tore through the Swansea property at 4:15 yesterday afternoon.
The fire had completely engulfed the building, and as a result of attendance at the scene, an examination has revealed the body of a person inside the building.
Police believe the victim was a 61-year-old man who had been living there for a year. His next of kin have been notified. Neighbours say the fire took hold quickly and with little warning. Examinations have not yet revealed the cause.
Once the scene examination's finished, then we'll be in touch or in conjunction with the owner of the property to make it safe. It's substantially damaged, so it'll be demolished.
Police say the man lived alone but was well known in Swansea. They say the tragedy will be felt across the small community.
I think it's always more profound in a small community. People feel for it, people know everybody.
With colder months on the way and the risk of fatal fires increasing, authorities are warning Tasmanians to use working smoke alarms and stay safe around heaters and appliances. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor is continuing its attack on the state government's budget priorities. David O'Byrne out swinging at the Hobart Airport roundabout today, accusing the Liberals of further delaying infrastructure projects which had already been promised to Tasmanians.
Tasmanians are crying out for the government to deal with traffic congestion both north and south. The government is good at making announcements, they're good at allocating money, but they're not very good at spending it, and they're not very good at investing the money that's required.
But the government maintains more than half of its planned works under its action plan should be completed or under construction by this August. Despite a dreary day in parts of the state, the sky is set to come alive tonight for Cracker Night. More than 500 permits have been issued across the state, many for community groups holding fundraising events. 5,000 people are expected to flock to the Hobart Showgrounds, which is hosting a range of activities for all ages throughout the evening. But the night does come with a warning for pet owners, who are advised to keep their animals inside, as the loud noises can be very frightening for our furry friends. Mac Point has been a hive of activity, with the gates opening to the public for a day full of activities before it transitions to being the home of permanent developments. The day-long event also launching the Edible Precinct, said to be the largest in Australia. Hundreds of people turned out to celebrate all the area has to offer. And fashionistas have gathered in Hobart to embrace slow fashion, with hundreds flocking to the pre-loved clothing market. Dozens of stallholders selling their pre-loved wares in the hope they turn into someone else's treasure.
If people stop consuming as much as they're doing, then hopefully fast fashion industries and the big labels won't produce as much. They won't waste it, they won't burn it.
The next markets will be held in Hobart and Kingston in June and August.
TSL first tonight, and Launceston have pulled off an upset win to put the competition on notice. The visitors were on fire at KG5 despite the absence of Mitch Thorpe, booting away for the 26-point win. The Southern Bombers getting the better of North Hobart at Lauderdale Oval to continue their impressive season, while reigning premiers North Launceston dished up Clarence a harsh reality check at Blunston Arena. Glenorchy seized control of the match early against Launceston at KG5, taking a handy 16-point lead into the first change. But the Blues rallied, clawing back the difference to just 6 points in an inspired second quarter of play. Keen to reaffirm their claim as a true premiership contender following last weekend's loss to Lauderdale, the Blues overran the more heavily favoured Pies in the third to give themselves a 17-point lead heading into the home stretch. Smelling blood, the visitors' onslaught continued, putting the top three sides on notice with an upset 26-point win. Lauderdale drew first blood up against the outgunned D's, but the visitors weren't about to let things go without a fight, snatching the lead before the Bombers found their feet. The home side's big guns firing on all cylinders in the second quarter, gifting themselves a 31-point buffer at the long break. From there, Lauderdale were never in doubt, overwhelming the D's in a blistering third quarter of footy before coming away the 63-point winners. The reigning premiers showing why they're still considered the benchmark of the competition up against Clarence at Blunston Arena, shutting the Roos down on their home deck and keeping them to just 3 goals by half-time to take a 40-point lead. The Bombers piling on the goals in the second half and holding on to top spot on the competition ladder thanks to an 88-point drubbing. To soccer, and in the Lacquer Seljack Cup semi-final action, University have shown guts to take it up to Devonport at Alinda Grove today, but the Strikers were too good, putting their second goal through the back of the net as the full-time whistle approached. University refusing to say die, however, salvaging a bit of pride courtesy of a late penalty goal, but the home side couldn't find the equaliser as Devonport set up a cup final showdown with either Olympia or South Hobart. And Tasmanian horse East Ender has placed third in a photo finish at Flemington. The Barry Campbell trained gelding finished behind Steel Prince and Surprise Baby.
Welcome back. 16 degrees today in Hobart, Launceston, Burnie and Devonport, a top of 15 degrees. 19 was the state's top for Friendly Beaches, 18 at Fingal, 17 for Flinders Island, Bushy Park and also Campania, 16 was the top for St Helens, 15 for Lowhead, Smithton, Wynyard, Ouse and King Island, a top of 14 for Cressy with 8 at Lyawini. Grey conditions through the north today, a mix of high, mid and low cloud covering the state. Further out, a complex low system evident south of the Bight, a trough over the Indian Ocean producing cloud for central WA with low cloud over Queensland and New South Wales. Tomorrow a cold front crosses the state as the high pressure ridge continues to drift into the Bight and central parts. West to northwesterly winds 20 to 30 knots, reaching 30 to 40 about the north and west later. Seas to 3 metres, higher about the north and the west. Plenty of warnings, a severe weather warning for possible damaging winds across the northern coast. A gale warning for coastal waters from Low Rocky Point to Wineglass Bay. A strong wind warning for remaining coastal waters and a small craft wind alert for the southwest and central lakes. There is also a sheep graziers alert affecting northern areas. A bushwalkers alert for the western and central districts for snow to 700 metres. And finally a flood watch for the Huon River. Showers tomorrow, 13 in Hobart, 14 for Richmond, 11 for Ouse, 13 in Launceston, 12 degrees for Devonport, Deloraine a top of 10, 11 and windy conditions for Burnie and Strawn, 14 for Curry, with 14 degrees for St Helens and Whitemark, 15 with late showers for Swansea. Statewide showers expected for most of the day on Monday, expected to continue through Tuesday for most areas with chilly conditions expected and before lightening up to showers on Wednesday, mainly fine for most areas. 22 degrees tomorrow in Perth, mostly sunny, 17 and showers for Adelaide, 16 in Melbourne, 23 for Sydney with 26 in Brisbane.
That's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.